not kicking them out tomorrow, but
But kicking him out nonetheless.
helping him.
Nonetheless, kicking him out. Like, I mean, say what it is. I mean, that's what it is. You want to evict him, but we want to do it nicely and in a gentle way. When he's willing to do that thing that won't cause him to be evicted and moved at all. And I don't want to go back there either. I'm just trying to figure out if the crux of the issues, there are really seems to be two issues. One is the rent. That's been resolved. The other issue is the guard. And he says, I'll give it up. I just won't do it. Why that isn't a reasonable, I guess, resolution outside of eviction. You mean what was agreed to be? I get it, but that doesn't mean that the court has to take the most harsh remedy in regard to rectifying what somebody sees as a breach.
3172 at the last hearing. She had technical difficulties trying to connect, so you set it for today. If my notes are correct.
All right, Ms. Elledge?
Yeah, I did not know.
Are we gonna,
I paid $700 today, actually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I also have the Jewish Family Services that's paying $400. So
they're gonna pay $400.
yes. After I paid $700, so I have to send them that I should.
Yeah. Again, do you see the $700 she paid today, or?
Your Honor, I do not, but the ledger I have was printed off 2 days ago in preparation for the hearings today. So that could be very well happen. And I have never known her to lie to me, so.
Yeah, okay. So that's gonna put you at.
Yeah, I didn't know it was 6.
Well, that'd be 1,100.
Left.
That's about 500. If they pay that, you got 500 you gotta pay.
Okay, yes. So, and then I know the August is coming up as well. So I have guaranteed income because my son, he gets SSI on the 27th. So I'll be able to pay that in next month, or I'll do
I got hold up, slow down. You're good, because you got
yeah.
Even if the 400 from Jewish Family Services doesn't come, you'll still have that other income that you can get this month paid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do.
Which they can see.
So we don't get close to including August in this. I'm gonna find that there's no tribal issue after hearing. I'm gonna grant a judgment for possession for the 16/31/72. I'm going to extend the writ date on that. What I'm going to do is since those other payments you made, I'm going to extend it to July 31st.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Your Honor, I just received a message from my client that unless you put it in the Dropbox, they don't have that payment. So she may want to check with them to see how it got there after the hearing today.
Yeah, it was money order.
There was a money order. Put it in the Dropbox?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, check the Dropbox, but ma'am, if you could check with the manager after the hearing today, just make sure everybody's on the same page.
Okay.
Okay. All right. But you'll have to the end of the month to get all that.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Here on Vista versus Alicia Moore.
May it please the Honorable Court, Steve Gann, P7H219 for the plaintiff on this one.
Hello. What's your name?
Alicia Moore.
All right. And where are we on this?
Currently, Your Honor, there's $54.80 in rent, $240.81 in court fees, for a total of $5720.81. And when we last spoke, she said she's going to try to pay $3,000. I don't see that I've received that, or I don't see my clients received anything since the last hearing.
All right.
So the last time we were here, I didn't state that. I stated that they need the people that could help the
Hawk to 3,000.
Yes. So I needed to get the balance to the 3, and I told you I get paid today. So I was going to take care of that and see if they can help me. And
so say that last thing you said.
So last time I told you, because you asked me, and I said I get paid today.
Okay.
So I was gonna go ahead and get it down to the,
How much are you gonna
me.
pay today?
well, I'm gonna take the balance to where it's sitting at 3,000.
So but you're gonna pay 2,700
Yeah,
today?
and then, if they don't, I don't know why they wouldn't, but if they don't have the funding, then I get paid again 2 Fridays from now, the 24th.
Oh, okay. Then you can clear the balance, but
Yeah.
regardless of what happens, you can clear the balance by the 24th.
24.
Okay. I'm gonna find no,
Try to get that help first.
right, I know what you're doing. You're
Yeah.
trying, I get you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find no tribal issue after hearing. I'm gonna grant a judgment for possession for the 54/20/81. I'm gonna extend your writ date to, well, let me just give you to the end of the month. July
Your Honor,
31st.
if I can interrupt, that was 57/20/81.
50,
It was.
say it again?
57/20/81. The rent is
Got it.
54.80. Court fees are 240.81.
So it's 57/20/81.
Yes, sir.
All right.
We're adding this month too. Okay.
You got that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so I'm gonna grant that judgment to them, give you to the end of the month to get it clear.
Okay. Thank
Fair
you.
enough? All right. Here,
You too.
Thank you, Your Honor.
here I versus Jasmine Scott.
May it please the court, Steve Gann for the plaintiff.
Come on up, yeah. Everybody else came up. What do you think?
Trying to make
supposed
sure.
to Wait and just yell at me?
No,
That was your,
I'm not gonna do you like old girl did you, I promise.
oh, roll up on me like that?
I'm not gonna roll you.
I got Alan.
I'm
Start rolling up like that and you got, anyway. All right, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
The
where are we now today?
current balance is 36.50 in rent, 239.72 in fees, for a total of 38.89. The last time we were here, Miss Scott, she was informed that Alpha House, it looks like she's trying to get some help from Alpha House, if I remember correctly. I'm putting these notes here, and we have not, we did see payments from her on the 25th, right before the last hearing, but nothing since that point.
Right, because the number you gave me at the last hearing, it looks like she's coming down 100 from where she was at the end of June. So, all right, how are you going to get this taken care of?
Okay, I finally got full-time hours. My check is being exported today, and a woman named Lakeisha Williams at, what is it? 1 second, let me see. It's called Peace. It's like Peace Haven, Peace Hub Community Center. She put her hands on it, and she said that her and Washington County were going to be helping me get it all paid down. So I will have the 800 and something as of next week. That check's being exported today. I don't know how, the way my job hours anyway, but that check will be, it's supposed to be coming next Friday, but I get paid 2 days early. And then Lakeisha's supposed to be putting her 400 with it. But as soon as my check touches it, Washington County and her will be paying off the rest of it. Lakeisha's already working on her part this week, but then my check comes and I get to put my
Oh,
800.
all of that comes to be by the end of the month, you can have this all paid.
Yes.
All right. No tribal issue. After hearing, I'll grant a judgment for possession 388972. I will extend the writ date to July 31st, 2026.
Thank you, Your
Okay.
Honor.
Yeah.
Thank you. Here on Vista versus Nia or Nia Smith.
Steve Gann for the plaintiff, Your Honor.
You did not check in. You've previously been sworn. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Actually, I was not sworn in this morning, but I will swear that I'll tell
You
the truth to the court.
You solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
And that's right. You weren't sworn in because you only had one case. You were sloughing off today. No, go ahead.
Now, unlike you, who've done 171 cases today.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Aaron. At this time, the current balance is 3,209.72. That's 3,209.72. And of that, 239.72 is court fees. To the best of my knowledge, the defendant is not in the military, is not incompetent, is over the age of 18, and otherwise able to attend the hearing today. She was here at the last one, if I remember correctly. And the property has been kept fit for its intended use. So I would move for a default on this matter.
Judgment to the plaintiff by default for possession. Redemption amount is in the amount requested with writ issue in 10 days.
Thank you. I'll submit that.
The total amount was, what did you get?
3,209.72 was the total.
Got it? All right. Huron Vista versus Moesha Harrison.
May it please this court, Steve Gann for the plaintiff. Last time we were here, she was working with Hawk, I believe. Application was sent. Current balance is 4,460 plus 240.81 in fees for a total of 4700.81. 4700.81.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. How are you intending on getting this paid?
With the last court hearing, the attorney that represented them, it was a female, it wasn't him. She, with the nonprofit organization I'm working with, she told us at the court hearing that he has to be on the phone. I've been trying to reach out, get in contact, haven't got no response. I talked to her assistant on Monday and left a message for her to call me back so I can get that handled. Still haven't got a call back. I got somebody willing to help me, the nonprofit organization. It's just all about having somebody on their end be available so we can get that handled. If that makes sense.
Well, some of it. So who are you trying to connect up with?
I think the lady that represented them with the last court hearing, I think her name was Samantha. But yeah. With the It's Share Initiative, it's a nonprofit organization.
Okay.
But she told us that he would have to be on the phone. All three of us. He, Damon, the one that was with me with the last court hearing. Samantha told that I would have to be on the phone. Yeah.
I remember that.
And I can't get in contact with her.
You can't get in contact with her.
Tried calling the number that she had gave us over the Zoom. I called that day, didn't get no answer. I called throughout last week, didn't get an answer. I went to the Huron Vista rental office and I talked to Sheena, the property manager, and she told me to call the number that was on my court papers. So I called that number on Monday.
So if I give you another week, you think you can get all this?
Yeah, if they answer the phone.
Okay. When you say they, Huron Vista.
The people that represent them.
So they need.
Yeah.
Your Honor, she's got my phone number. It goes right through. You get to either Samantha or I. We're here every day. But I guess I'm not sure what she needs from us.
Yeah, why do they need to be on?
That's what Samantha told Damon and me, that in order for him to do a payment, I have to be on the line with him. She can't just do it with just him on the phone. So it has to be like a 3-way conference call with me being on the phone.
My law firm does not get involved with the payment, Your Honor. That goes directly to the site.
Yeah. So it's going to have to be the site that you're going to have to get in touch with.
Yeah.
But it's not the attorney's office. It's Huron Vista.
So I will have to do it through Huron Vista.
It should be you, Damon, and somebody from Huron Vista.
Okay.
And that manager is on the screen right now, Your Honor, if you need to speak with her, Michelle Hauk.
Oh, yes. Oh, Michelle is there. Okay, so can you see that?
Yeah.
So that's who.
Michelle.
Let's try to get all that arranged with them.
Okay.
I'll give you another week to try to get that arranged.
Okay.
I think it may have been we said call the attorney's office, but if it's going to be this kind of thing, it's going to have to be done differently. So
okay.
It's out to the 17th, 2026 at.
I'm there at 3 p.m. already, Your Honor.
You're there what time?
You had me coming back at 3 p.m. for the morning case from this morning's cases.
Okay. That's at 3 p.m.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is that in person?
I'm sorry, I had to unmute. When was that again? I'm sorry, this is Michelle.
Friday at 3 p.m., Michelle.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. RES at Huron or Rest at Huron versus Dennis Wilson.
May it please the Honorable Court, Steve Gann for the plaintiff. At this time, there's currently due and owing 2,594.02, 2,594.02, 219.72 in court fees for a total of 2,813.74, 2,813.74.
Hello, sir.
Hello,
What's your name?
Dennis Wilson.
All right. So they have you owing 2,800, you said 1374?
That's correct, sir.
1374.
I owe $13.74.
No, $2,813.74.
Okay.
All right. You know how you're going to get that paid?
Well, I've been working with my son, and he's a police officer down in Arlington, Texas, and he's been helping me pay it.
Okay.
But what the agreement was, this woman from the Housing Commission, she was supposed to get me in some kind of program where I'll be able to only start paying $300 instead of the 16 where I'm at.
Oh, she's supposed to, okay. And was that through Ann Arbor Housing Commission or?
It was, he had,
Come on up. Need you just to state your name, please.
Philip Madursky,
With whom?
here in Valley Pace. I'm a social worker.
Got it.
So, his casework at Adult Protective Services is helping him to work with Max to get his, housing, contribution stated.
Got it. Okay. And are you still working with him on that?
As far as I know, I haven't, heard from her in the past.
All right. So Mr. Wilson, where do you think they are in your case? Are they still working with you or?
As far as I know, they are. I haven't heard from her neither. So everybody seemed to be up in limbo waiting on her. She came to visit me once and told me that they're going to do this and the other. Then I haven't heard nothing else from them.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Since you got somebody kind of helping you out there, I'm gonna adjourn it to the 17th, 2026 at 3
Not,
p.m.
Your Honor. But it is my understanding, and I don't have firsthand knowledge of this, that CPS is investigating that I may not be habitable for children in this unit.
I understand that, but has there been the Superior Township inspector been out there?
Yes. They did inspect it. They did not. They did not inspect the
Is
shoes.
there a reason why they haven't inspected?
Keep the voice up so you can get it.
Well, they didn't inspect because of the bugs.
Because of what?
Bugs.
They told me to skip things.
Okay. Ma'am, what's your position on this?
Your Honor, I do not have a CPS case. That case is closed and it wasn't because of that. That was.
I'm not concerned about the CPS thing.
Okay,
Okay. What
but
about the condition of the unit?
I've been working on it. It's just me and his 5 kids and I've been cleaning up. It's no trash or nothing on the floor. I already explained that I was gonna repair all the holes that was in the wall and clean the walls off and stuff like that. I've been doing that since the last court date we had, which was on the 26th of June.
Your Honor, my client will acknowledge there has been some efforts made towards cleaning it, but it's not even close to where it needs to be.
Well, the question is when you say it's not close to how it's supposed to be, the question is it habitable? You're saying that it's not.
My client tells me that she has inspected it personally and her.
I understand you already said that, so I heard you the first time, but it is impossible for me to determine from the outside of this. I see the photos, but then you tell me that there are certain things that were done. That's the last thing she told me the last time, is that she was something different. And the thing I don't know.
Oh, and that was repairing the holes and stuff that was in the walls.
The thing I do not know is I've never heard of an inspector not going into a unit because of bugs. I mean,
And my whole strip has bugs. It's not just my house.
Unfortunately, that's probably, from what I understand, true, but the source that they're emanating from is her unit.
well, okay. I don't know without an entomologist that anybody's going to know that. So, I'm going to need an inspection on the unit before I'm able to rule on this. So,
We'll contact Superior Township and see what you can do. Inspect the.
all right. So what I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to adjourn this out to the 24th, 2026 at 1 p.m. for the next hearing. And see what the inspector, ma'am, once they arrange for the inspector to come out, you're to cooperate with the inspection of that unit. You understand that?
Yes.
All right.
Will this be in person or
In person,
at 1?
1 o'clock.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Linden Square Apartments versus Edward Seaman. I thought somebody was trying to give you sunglasses.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. Jessica Morris, P 88771, filling in Michael Kern on behalf of Linden Square Splitting.
Your name?
My name is Dale Seaman. My uncle Edward Seaman.
All right, but Edward is the tenant. All right. Okay, where are we on this case?
So he had agreed to a consent judgment whereby the tenant agrees to pay the rent to paying $23,198.96 with costs of $255.09 for a total of $23,454.05 with the writ to retain of 20 days, which would make that July 2026. We are, however, in a bit of a unique situation because Dale is Ed's representative and doesn't have such a part. He is not his power of attorney. But he has been authorized to make all these transactions. He's been kind of doing all the financial aspects of this case so far. So we would like to defer.
So just so I'm clear, somebody else has power of attorney over the assets of Edward?
No, we're in the process of getting that taken care of. He lost his wallet when he came to Michigan, and we're still fighting on trying to get that taken care of. So we had at the VA, we had a gentleman draw up
A power of attorney.
and so we just,
So has that been executed by anyone?
I thought it was being executed, but I found out that he's on vacation right now.
Okay, so just so that I'm clear, it's not because of some guardianship or conservatorship that the power of attorney is necessary. The power of attorney is necessary because he may not have the requisite ID and other stuff to conduct financial transactions. Is that right?
I've been taking care of the rents for quite some number of months. Trying to get him with a ID now. He had what he had stolen was his driver's license. And of course, I'm driving and we're working on getting a
Okay. Go ahead, counsel. What was, got it. I got it. So what was the problem you saw?
So
In-
we'd
go ahead.
like to defer to your judgment, given the fact that Mr. Ed Seaman, as of right now, hasn't been able to make any agreements on behalf of himself. Again, right now, Dale has been his representative with all these.
I see what you're getting at.
So we were concerned about whether he could sign the consent judgment.
Edward, are you able to conduct your own affairs? Are you able to conduct your own affairs?
Yes.
You are? So let me ask you this. Pardon? Okay, but if you had your license, right? You could give them the money that's necessary. Is that correct?
Yeah. That's how much it is. Not sure.
Well, if it were $23,050, you could pay that to them if you had an ID.
Yeah. I think so. I think I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay, sir. So you've been conducting all of his business affairs, or?
Yeah, yes. Well,
Well, I was talking to,
sorry.
it's okay. You guys can sit down, okay? So you've been conducting all of his business affairs? Did he get a chance to speak with an attorney regarding this at all?
No.
Can I ask this? How'd you arrive at the figure?
So there was actually a previous complaint.
Judgment. That's why I have my other file.
Yes. And that was back in October. And the rent routine then was $45,941.54. They came to an agreement that they would pay a lump sum of $30,000. And for a year after, they would agree to make additional monthly payments of $1,327.13 to make up for the difference. And that additional $1,327 has not been paid monthly.
Got it.
That extra is coming in.
I understand council's concern, and I understand also that I don't know that I would be in a position jurisdictionally to make a determination as to whether or not he could adequately enter into consent judgment. My primary questioning of it is that, I mean, a person would be presumed to be able to do that, but then I'm a bit concerned with his answers to the question and the fact that it seems he doesn't run his own affairs.
And may I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
When he came to Michigan, he was, when he came to Michigan, he lost his wallet
Okay.
and all of his ID. Now,
How long ago was that?
well, I guess it was October last year, I think, somewhere in that area.
So October of 2025?
I think so. I'm sure.
Okay, so let me just ask this. All of that's true. Let's say that he loses his wallet. So if he needed money, how does he get money, say, from a bank or transact any other type of business?
For a while, my brother is one, he's in San Diego. When he came out here, the assets that he had are in Bank of America. And then he was handling,
He being who?
Eddie.
So he was getting the money out of Bank of America himself.
Yes. And
Okay.
when he didn't have ID, they cut him off and he couldn't get access. Glenn couldn't get access and I couldn't. So they trying to get ID so that we can keep it back up. Meantime, I've been making all of it.
Oh, okay. That's how, okay, I get you. So because you've been making the payments, he hasn't had to sort of conduct financial transactions, right? Okay. That was a curveball I didn't expect. This judgment amount that everybody seems to agree upon, how is that going to be paid? Were you going to do the same thing?
I'm gonna cover that immediately with my own funding. And
Okay.
get that off the books and then.
I hear you.
But I'll be one payment. It's not covered, so I'll have to get that caught up in the next month or so. Cause I wanted to get rid of this.
Answer that question.
this figure, this 2350 represents what? Does that bring him current
Yes.
through July?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm not gonna worry about any extraneous payments here. So, sir, how soon could you pay to them the $23,050?
Yeah, agreement.
Oh, no, I get you. I'm just trying to think. You're gonna pay that out of your assets right now, right? So how much time do you need to do that, to get the funds and get it to them?
We're talking about 20 days by the end of the month. I want to get that. I didn't even know that that was up. Is it?
Okay, but let me ask you this. Could you do it by the 24th? I'm trying to think of a way of doing this, taking care of everybody's concerns, but do you think you can get it done by the 24th or the 23rd, 24th of this month? About 2 weeks from now?
Like to have a little more time, but I can try and do that. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do here. Because I did not see the settlement agreement while I was doing all of this.
Okay, so let me explain what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, and I think it's proper for counsel to raise the issue that she raises before the court regarding the signing of the consent judgment. Now that I know that you're actually going to be the one paying it, right? Then what I would do is adjourn this out, let the payment be made, the case would be dismissed. It accomplishes the same thing, just without doing that. But I am not here the 31st.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Otherwise, I just set it for the last Friday in this month. That will give you the 20 days and do whatever, but I'm not here. Now I could set it to the 7th. Am I here? I'm so. I'll give them a special time. I can give them, I can set it for the 7th. I'd give you guys a special time with the understanding that you get it paid, it's going to be dismissed in any event. But then the 2350 doesn't reflect then August. So that number would go up. Okay, hang on. Here's what we'll do. I'll adjourn this to the August 7th date. We'll just give a special time for that, okay? You're to make that payment as the agreement basically by the 30th. If you make the agreement by the 30th, that means you're paid up. They'd have to dismiss in any event. If you don't, then you're going to be back on the 7th. We're going to be dealing with August.
yes, I definitely want that to happen.
Right, but and you just need a little bit more time. I'm not here because I like to have a little bit of a vacation at some point. And so we'll do it that way. So the important thing for you is you just have to get the money to them before the end of this month. All right? And then that way we'll do that. If for whatever reason things don't work out and we're still in that same boat regarding the consent, what I will indicate to you is I'll give you a trial date. You guys get the document. I'll decide the trial date, and then I'll be deciding it based upon probably finding that there's no issue, no genuine issue of material fact, and I'll just make the decision. All right. I think that's how we'll do it. Okay. So you get the monies to them. I'll adjourn this what time? At noon. August 7th, 2026, 12 noon. And that's a special time. All right. And we'll get it done. Now, just as a side note, what state was he born in? Or did he come from?
Oh, San Diego.
Out in California? So you can't get his birth certificate to try to help him get a license, or?
I've been working on that and, I've got just about everything I need.
Okay,
I'm waiting on it. Our advocate, I thought he was going to get that
okay.
stamped and everything would be cool, but
You may be able to go down, although it wouldn't constitute a driver's license. Washtenaw County has a program where they will issue an ID for purposes so that he could do his banking, he could do other things. So it's a government ID, it's just not a state. So you may want to check into that. It's probably going to be a lot quicker process for him to be able to do that.
where do I do that?
It's through Washtenaw County. Can you look up something and try to give them, well, no, it's okay. We'll look it up. I'll have my staff pull it off. We'll give you something. And that maybe make everybody's life easier. All right?
Your Honor, just to confirm, Dale is able to sign the consent judgment?
Dale, him,
Yes.
he's not a party to the case. So I don't think he can sign it. And I don't think he can sign it on his behalf because he's not a conservator or guardian. He would have to sign it. And I'm a little bit worried about that happening. All right. So let's not do the judgment now. If it gets to a point that a judgment's going to be necessary to enforce it and to protect your client's interest, on the 7th, we'll figure out a way to do that, which may involve just setting a quick trial, people providing me the documents, and I just make a finding as opposed to it being a consent.
Understood.
Okay? Thank you. Guys, have a good weekend.
Chairman. Oh, it's in the chair. Thank you.
You're welcome. And just wait a few minutes, my staff, to get you that information regarding the ID. Okay? You can wait out here, right out there. Mill Pond Manor versus Shaming Fan Pond.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. I shouldn't. You're not that, you know? All right. Council, state your appearances.
Go ahead. Good afternoon, Your Honor. James Martone here on behalf of plaintiff Mill Pond Manor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. David Santa Croce, appearing on behalf of Mr. Fan. To my right, to his right is Stone Macbeth. Stalin has left the clinic to go start a housing clinic in Detroit. Mr. Macbeth is a Blissfield native, and he's joining us for the next 3 years. So you will, we're working on admission, but
So I'm supposed to say welcome or something like that?
no, I'm just giving.
Or I should say like, I like Stalin better? Or what do you want me to say?
Go Maryland.
Go
I
Maryland.
don't think you're a Maryland fan.
I get that.
Frequently on this docket, these are going to be our criminal specialists.
All right, very good. Welcome aboard, sir. All right, where are we on this case?
Just for the record, Christopher Ridings is next to me on my left.
All right. Okay. All right, what are we doing here?
Your Honor, this is a difficult case. We're here because we were originally here back in December of 25. A conditional dismissal was entered in January. It's regarding Mr. Fan's occupancy at Mill Pond Manor. which is a senior residency that's subsidized by HUD. Your Honor, you may recall we've been here several times. We've been trying to resolve this amicably. Unfortunately, we were under the impression that after we're here on the conditional dismissal, that those terms were going to be abided by. Particularly, there was payment terms that were required. There was staying out of a gardening area that was required. There's attending gardening meetings that was required. None of that has. You'll hear today that Mill Pond Manor is being unreasonable, trying to be the Goliath in the room. That's not the case, Your Honor. What we're trying to do is just have accountability. And that's what happened on June 2nd when non-compliance was filed. Part of that affidavit identified multiple dates that did not comply with the consent order, which included gardening beyond the limited area that he was permitted to, missing the gardening meeting without an excused absence or following up afterwards, and then also an issue of late or missed rent. I will let the court know that the rent payment has been received. And part of the issue with that rent payment was that Mill Pond Manor will receive from banks, but in order to receive direct deposits from a bank, you have to register through Mill Pond Manor's portal. That did not happen, which resulted in missed payments. We had sent a demand letter in May 19th to Brother Councilor Santa Croce, informing him and Mr. Fan of these violations and requested immediate cessation. That did not occur, Your Honor. Following that letter, there still were additional attempts of gardening beyond the borders. The rent did, as I said earlier, we did receive the rent. The March and March and June rents were received. And there are 2 checks that are sitting in Writing's possession that we have held off on cashing, just that there's a representation to Mr. Writings that please don't cash all checks at once for fear of bouncing the checking account. And we don't want to put Mr. Fan in a situation where he doesn't have enough to cover. But if we are able to resolve that day, are able to cover those payments and the disagreement will not be an issue. Nonetheless, Your Honor, the whole purpose of this consent order was to have compliance occur. So what we're seeking, Your Honor, and the gravity and the weight of requested relief or judgment possession is not lost on us and it's not taken lightly. We understand Mr. Fan's position. We understand that this is a residency for him. But at the end of the day, Your Honor, this is a 47-unit community that Mill Pond Manor is responsible for ensuring the safety, the welfare, and compliance with the rules and regulations.
So what are the specifics of the gardening beyond borders thing?
Your Honor, if I could direct your attention to the consent order.
Yes.
Attached as Exhibit 8 to the consent order. And do you have a color copy or do you have a black and white copy?
You can go ahead with your statement. So I guess what?
Your Honor, I have a copy for you.
Okay.
May I approach?
You can hand it to my bailiff. Okay.
Your Honor, as you'll see, there is a red triangle cordoned off just beyond the side of the building.
Yes.
That was a limited space that the parties had agreed to allow Mr. Fan to garden. If you'll look around or look down this way, Mr. Fan had expanded gardening efforts all the way around to here, which was not permitted. And that is what we were asking the court back in December to address. Brother Counsel and myself had agreed that Mr. Fan would stop his gardening efforts and limit it to this little border shaded in red. That has not, and part of the conditional dismissal, Your Honor, so Mr. Fan had until April 15th to remove plants, shrubs, whatever gardening implements he would prefer to keep, so that during the frost, he was unable to retrieve it, but in April, he was able to retrieve it. So April 15th was a deadline. Following that deadline, he should not be in anywhere other than that limited area, Your Honor, and that did not occur. In fact, on several occasions, he was located throughout down this region and not limited to here, Your Honor. The same thing goes with the gardening meeting. The residents of Mill Pond Manor are allowed to garden under strict guidelines. Every resident who does garden has to attend this gardening meeting. Notice was given, it was posted. The residents that do want to garden did appear, Mr. Fan was not. I understand it seems trivial, Your Honor, at certain points, but this is what was agreed to, and is why we had entered into the consent order so that we have material compliance with these particular terms, because having unfettered access to this gardening area is not permitted. And the other residents are not allowed to do that. And so we can't have differing or divergent rules and regulations per each tenant here, Your Honor. And so what we're seeking is a judgment of possession, and we will want to be reasonable with the court. I'm not trying to ask the court for immediate judgment. Our client, or my client, Mill Pond Manor, has offered reasonable assistance financially, as well as social services to help locate additional housing for Mr. Fan. Those have not been taken up upon, but we remain willing and committed to help in a reasonable transition here. At this time, Your Honor, Mill Pond Manor is not a residency or community. It's fit to serve Mr. Fan and his needs.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. So just for a little context, Mr. Fan is a 76-year-old former engineer who immigrated here during the Carter administration. He's a lawful resident. He is all alone. He had a stroke last April of 25. He spent 2 months in ICU and a month in rehab. Gets around with a walker. He's on a handful of heart drugs. He's also got on a handful of drugs to treat depression, suicidal ideation, memory, comprehension problems. He's also ESL. So we went without an interpreter today. We can communicate fairly well, but there is a thing there. This is HUD subsidized. And I want to just make one thing clear. You see this long, expansive garden. That was done by Mr. Fan, reclaiming just border area between this complex. It's beautiful and it sits right on the back of Mill Pond. That was all with permission. When the prior manager left, the new manager, Mr. Riddens, revoked that permission. So this is where the struggle ensued. The garden, it's not just a garden. The MSU extension offered in the context of settlement negotiations to maintain it in perpetuity because of the rare plants that he was able to grow in there. So this is really, it's not, I'm a vegetable garden. This isn't what it is. But they weren't interested in that. In fact, there were repeated threats by management to Mr. Fan to bulldoze. We reached a compromise. They claim that those words never happened. Obviously, there's a difference of opinion. It's immaterial. The COD, because this is HUD subsidized, requires a material violation, right? And this is stuff I learned in this court, one or more repeated. I don't have to tell the court the law. I understand that. There was an initial affidavit that came with this letter on the 19th that made these allegations. And I went down and I sat for an hour in Mr. Fan's room where I have been multiple times. There's several claims in the affidavit that you just heard from counsel, and I want to address them. The first is that he failed to pay March rent. May I approach, Your Honor? No, we'll start here to Mr. Allen. Counsel has put a cover page on it. This is the first, the ledger report produced 3 weeks after the affidavit of noncompliance, showing that he owes $540 for supposedly March and May rent. The second page is him paying May rent on the 2nd of March. The third page is him paying rent on the 2nd of June. The fourth page, I have it here on my phone, but Mr. Fan couldn't get it to me in time. He paid rent at the end of April and then again at the starting of May, getting rejected because he cannot understand this certification of how to get the rent under the portal. So at the time the affidavit was submitted, that rent had been paid. The affidavit is simply false on that point, and frankly, a little troubling, that those representations.
Why doesn't every tenant just get a portal access?
Pardon?
They have that.
They have it, he can't, but the certification with his bank and how that can, this direct deposit, he's offered to pay cash multiple times that the former manager would accept, but not now. He's asked for the ledger repeatedly. Ultimately, I only got the ledger a few weeks after they filed this affidavit. And the ledger they produce is patently contrary to the bank record showing the receipts. Well, so he made his best efforts to pay the rent. There clearly was some technical problems. It sounds like he might owe like $30 because the rent went up in November by $8, and he didn't know, and he didn't know in December. Mr. Martone was on my speed dial during that last case. We were talking a lot. We never heard anything about that rent. So I think the rent is a canard.
Well, my understanding is that's moot.
It feels like it, but it's got to. I'm getting to the point. It's got to be a repeated, intentional, willful violation. This clearly wasn't. So now we turn to the garden, right? It sounds like the court has passed the rent and onto the garden. Is that a fair reading?
Well, I don't understand why the rent is. I mean, if it's been rectified, it's been rectified.
Well, it just was a ground for them claiming a violation. I thought I had.
No, I understand.
All
I
right.
understand that, but.
So as to the garden, there was a video on May 12th where he walked into the larger part of the garden. There was runoff from a couple of swales to get a bucket of water to feed a rare tree in his section. That's all it was. There hasn't been a documented intrusion into that area since. In fact, counsel sent me videos from the 31st that say, well, here he is out of the garden, and they clearly are him in it. That's why I think we're not seeing them on the record today. So I went down there. He's complied. He made that one trip out. He shouldn't have. He believed that he had till May 15th. Again, this is comprehension, not April 15th. He hasn't been there since, and there's no evidence it's been there since. The garden meeting, he went past at 45 minutes before. He went back at 10 minutes of. There was no one in there. There hasn't been a garden meeting since. He's willing to go. In fact, he's willing to give up the garden. He doesn't have anywhere else to go, right? There are letter violations that counsel had the good grace on the May 19th to say, we're not worried about it. But there hasn't been one since. They claim there is, but there's no evidence. None of them repeated, all of them minor, none of them, to our mind, material, let alone willful. He's largely performed for 6 months, and the balance of the hardships here, they have offered him, I had not heard before just now that they offered to find him, help him find additional housing. That might be something that we would consider, but he's got nowhere to go. He's old and frail, and he's largely performed for 6 months. I'm not sure what that unauthorized trip to the garden really harmed them in any way. He thought he was within the rights. He wasn't. We would ask that he be allowed to stay because he has nowhere to go, and he's fully gets $1,000 a month disability, or I think it's Social Security now because of his age. And he pays his rent. It's $250. I don't know where. I don't know how to help him, given the current housing situation and his medical condition. So for those reasons, you would ask that he remain.
Yeah, I would just submit to the court that there has been evidence of Mr. Fan being in the restricted area of the garden on multiple occasions. In fact, Tasha.
Well, hold it, gentlemen. It just seems to me he's willing to give up the garden.
Yeah.
I understand, Your Honor, but this has been a repeated conduct. We were here on a failed payment a year and a half ago, and then that was.
I spend all day Friday dealing with failed payments. And I mean, The money aspect, quite frankly, certainly if it's been rectified, is of little consequence to me, and I would not issue any negative or judgment based upon that. I mean, he's rectified it. People these days are just spending all their time trying to rectify their rental obligations. It seems to me that it's the garden or there's some other issue, but somebody may be saying, if he's willing to give up the garden, then I don't have an issue, do I?
Yes, insofar as, Your Honor, that he agreed to give up gardening on those particular areas previously. And
Yeah, but he's willing to give up the whole thing. So it's not even going to be an issue of, are you gardening? It's, you can't be gardening.
Your Honor, I fear that we're going to be right back in here because he's going to be gardening again.
And when you grace my doors, I'll say welcome.
But
But-
I want to see you that many times, Your Honor.
Again, this offer has been made multiple times, and we're willing to live with that compromise.
I mean, I guess I don't understand what plaintiff's hesitation in that is.
Your Honor, this has been an ongoing, there's been multiple issues with Mr. Phan's tenancy. When we were here in December and agreed to enter into the consent judgment, there were also other issues about health code violations or keeping his place tidy, having the property made free of any debris or refuse or his gardening tools. There was a physical altercation a couple of years ago between Mr. Phan and Mr. Ridings. And there's been a pattern of issues that has escalated to this point. We had the consent judgment, which said he will not do these matters. He agreed.
But he didn't have these issues till he got here.
I can't speak to because I don't know who the prior manager was, Your Honor.
But it sounds to me like he didn't have problems with the prior manager.
Your Honor, that's not my understanding.
There hasn't been a case until these, Your Honor. There was a non-payment case that Ms. Kim from Legal Services had that was over non-payment that was dismissed because payment had been made. I mean, the only issue with payment is technological and the new limitations on the way payment is accepted and the refusal to provide, the repeated refusal to provide Mr. Phan with a ledger.
Documentation.
And as to these other things, Your Honor, none of them were pled in the complaint. None of them were part of these things. We're going back to ancient history. Like, I just don't think it's proper.
Well, and I don't want to go back there either. I'm just trying to figure out if the crux of the issues, there are really seems to be two issues. One is the rent. That's been resolved. The other issue is the garden. And he says, I'll give it up. I just won't do it. Why that isn't a reasonable, I guess, resolution outside of eviction.
Your Honor, and my only response would be because that was what was agreed to 6 months ago, that he wouldn't garden in this area. So what's stopping him from start gardening again?
Sounds like I'm dealing with the damn straight from her move. What do you mean what was agreed to be? I get it, but that doesn't mean that the court has to take the most harsh remedy in regard to rectifying what somebody sees as a breach.
And Your Honor, that's why we're asking for a reasonable transition period of not kicking him out tomorrow, but
kicking him out nonetheless.
Helping him.
Nonetheless, kicking him out. Like, I mean, say what it is. I mean, that's what it is. You want to evict him, but we want to do it nicely and in a gentle way. When he's willing to do that thing that won't cause him to be evicted and moved at all.
I understand, Your Honor. If we have a judgment that same terms, if he doesn't materially comply with the lease, we're not having to go through this dance over it. I mean, this is our concern of having a a tenant that complies with the lease, just like every other tenant in
Are
that.
these elderly individuals?
Yes, sir.
All of them. There are 49 in the complex.
You're telling me that every one of those elderly individuals complies with every rule?
Your Honor, for the most part, yes.
No, because that's the problem. If for the most part, that's it, or if they do it. I mean,
If I can rephrase it, Your Honor, I would not be candid with the court if I said there hasn't been Mr. Writings having sit-down discussions with certain tenants over occupancy of their property. However, nothing has escalated to the point.
is there a social worker present?
Your Honor, there is not on site.
Why isn't there? I can't understand these places that have senior citizens that don't have a social worker available to deal with.
So, Your Honor, there was someone from so this is a national religiously oriented, environmentally, according to their mission statement, oriented organization out in California. Someone from that organization, a social worker, called Mr. Fan last week, didn't offer any help, but at least offered to hear him out about his difficulties. I think emotionally that helped him feel a lot better. It's called it was the RHF Director of Social Services. It sounds like she's based out of the West Coast, but has been no social services available, or we haven't heard about any social services from the company until last week when he got this call out.
Your Honor, respectfully, that's not an entirely accurate statement. They did offer services and to assist with alternate housing. It was declined.
When was that?
Whenever Mr. Fan spoke with them.
Right. So that was the first contact a week ago. 9 or 10 months into the litigation.
Counsel, you believe that his violation of this was intentional?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. Here's what we're gonna do. You guys want to do that? You're gonna have to put up or shut up. I need a hearing date on a Tuesday. We'll just go through we'll just go through a hearing. And then I'll make my finding.
July 21st.
July 21st?
Yes, sir.
What time, 9?
9 a.m.
July 21st, 2026, 9 a.m. Bring all your witnesses, bring all your evidence, and let's just do it.
So, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
He has a hearing where? Here? I thought that's Steve. No, we're good. All right. So I just want to I thought I had one in front of. No, I can 100% do that. We will be here at 9.
It works on our side here. 21st? Yeah, at 9 a.m.
All right. Very good.
We are amenable to modifying it along the court's direction between now and then if you're in.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Right. All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Private and assisted management versus Avery Wright.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Sorry.
DK 0757 on behalf of the plaintiff.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Gail Rosen on behalf of Ms. Wright.
You all right? Is Miss Wright present?
Ms.
Yes,
Wright's
Your Honor.
present.
Good afternoon.
Oh, there you are. Okay. I didn't see you and I saw that Michigan, so I purposely ignored it. Okay, where are we on this case?
Well, Your Honor, our office received no appearance. We were unaware that there was any tribal issue. Up to this point, I believe at the last hearing, I remember hearing that the balance was going to be paid. There was no dispute in rent necessarily. I was thinking maybe an opportunity for resolution would be a good idea. that maybe we could, either request an adjournment to appear via Zoom. Or, based on my representations, we can move forward, but I think I'd prefer an adjournment. If am amenable.
I would be, Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
I apologize for no prior notice. Ms. Wright contacted our office recently, so I also apologize for being in a t-shirt. But Ms. Wright has scheduled appointments with university potential resources to help cover the rent. And so an adjournment would be great so that she would have time to have those appointments and we can move forward from there.
Okay. So I don't have a problem with an adjournment. Question, would you guys like the 17th or the 24th?
No, I'd prefer a Friday.
It's a Friday. Both of those are Fridays.
The 24th would give her more time to.
I need 1 week or 2 weeks out to try to get things done.
I'm good either or, but.
The 24th might give her more time to try to see what available resources are out there.
All right. Then I will adjourn this to July 24th,
At what time, Your Honor?
2026 at 1 p.m.
And can we appear by Zoom or?
You fill out the paperwork. I'm going to need your appearance, and I don't have that, Ms. Rosen, but.
Yep, I'll get that to you on Monday.
Okay, and then the Zoom paperwork, you fill it in, and I'll strongly consider allowing appearance via Zoom.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
As long as I don't have to look at that Michigan thing, but we'll you guys talk about
We'll all dress differently. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
You the same.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Roxanne Fritton versus Freeman Clark. There's, everybody's in Zoom. Okay, what are we doing, guys? State your appearance.
Lane Spa on behalf of Roxanne Fritton.
Good afternoon, Judge David Morris, P83922 on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Freeman Clark.
All right. And where are we on this one, gentlemen?
Yes, Your Honor. I've been speaking with opposing counsel this afternoon. I believe we have a settlement in place that will result in a conditional dismissal being filed at this point, probably Monday.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Judge, it is correct from defendant's point of view.
All right. Then what I will do, I'll mark the file, it's conditionally dismissed. I'll just adjourn it out a week to the 17th, 2026 at 12 noon. You guys get that into me. We'll take it off the docket and we'll be good.
Awesome. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend.
You as well.
Eunice Morrissey versus Zachary Kelly. And pardon? Oh, joy. Can you keep your hands out your pocket? That file.
Huh?
I did something, but I didn't. Okay, who do I have over here? Your names?
Eunice Morrissey,
All right. And who's that with you?
it's my husband, Alan Ballman.
You want him up there with you? Really? Oh. I'll let him stay.
I don't.
Your name?
Zachary Kelly.
All right, folks, where are we? This is a termination. There is no lease, correct? It was a month to month. Well, by law, it would be a month to month. And what's your? Yeah.
He never paid any kind of
Rent.
any money for his living there.
Oh, okay. So he was just living there.
Right.
Oh. And well, it still would constitute a month, but all right. What makes you think you could stay?
What do you mean? Like any more now?
Yeah, they sent you a notice or she sent you a notice to terminate your tenancy. You haven't moved.
No, they gave me more time to look for other residents.
Okay, so they showed you some grace and said, move. And so now we're here. They're here now before me. And why haven't you moved?
I still haven't found anything, and they agreed to extend my time more, and so I can find something, because I have been reaching out to a bunch of resources within Washington County, for like placement or whatever. I'm currently in communication with a couple of different nonprofits, but I mean, it's really hard to do it when I don't have a lot of funding to find homes. But I've been grateful with the fact that they've agreed to extend my stay longer.
Okay, let me ask this. What do you guys need me to decide today?
We were hoping that we could adjourn for another month.
Okay.
More time to
Try to get settled and find a place.
we don't want to put them on the street. We also can't do
What?
but we also don't want to cohabitate with them. We just retired and it's time for him
To move on. Okay. Sure, go ahead.
So, or don't want to get any good shoes. One.
Got it. And I appreciate that. So, are you working?
I've been trying to find work. Lately I've been just doing like Ubering. But if I may, would the courts be able to provide me like a list of housing programs other than like Hawk and
Well, Hawk has, I was just gonna, have you called Hawk?
they sent me a list of places. I called those places. They send me the same exact list. So it's literally I get.
Yeah, it's called, they call it coordinated benefits. It's just something that is redundant, quite frankly.
I mean, currently I do have one nonprofit called Jim Toy that is trying to assist.
Okay, so here's going to be your issue. I can tell you right now, having dealt with housing issues for a while, is when you go into some of these programs, they're going to be looking at two things, right? One of the things is they'll help you get in, but are you in need? Basically, it's going to be, and that's going to be factored on what they know about you. Then the other issue, which is a critical issue, is the issue of sustainability. So if I help you, can you maintain the unit? If they don't believe that you can, then that assistance on the bottom end falls off because we can give it to somebody else that's going to be able to sustain it. I can see based upon what you're telling me that the issue of sustainability is going to be an issue for you. All right, which is probably what is sort of negatively impacting what you're being told, what you're kind of getting. And it's going to be that you're going to have some type of stable income in some way for that to happen. Okay. That's really the best advice I could give you. I would suspect that you would get a list from Hawk that were you working, because they probably did a brief intake of employment, blah, 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 blah. They didn't do any of that. Okay. They should have, so that they know your employment status, the like, and whatever. And then they would be able to kind of move you along, because there are programs that will pay your security and do whatever, but you got, again, the issue of sustainability is going to be a problem. There are also some programs that, but I don't know that, how old are you?
I'm going to be 27 this month.
Okay. I don't know that those programs are really the criteria for those programs you're probably not going to meet. Okay. You're we live in a funny world. You're at an odd age where at 27, we expect you to be an adult and your frontal lobe isn't even developed. So how are you going to do that, right? Yeah, okay. I didn't mean it as an insult. It's just the way it is. So what I will be more than happy to turn it out. I will say to all of you, I appreciate you guys working together and just you two appreciating that you want something, but there can also be a harsh thing that can happen that can actually, if he's just kind of thrown out there on the streets, have absolutely terrible consequences. So, all right. So I have August 7th, 14th. Well, a month out, you'd be looking at August 14th or the 21st. Which would be better for you? I'm going to let the retired people decide.
Let's do the 21st.
21st? All right. I'll adjourn it to August 21st, 2026 at 12 noon. Okay, and hopefully you won't be here as long as we are today, but all right. Appreciate you folks. Well, I appreciate you guys caring about each other. That's most important. All right, you guys have a great weekend.
Enjoy your vacation.
When I get to it, I will. Believe me. Alec Sadoff versus Arnold Sadoff.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Alex Sadoff.
So you're the plaintiff.
Correct.
And I have a dismissal here. You're dismissing this case?
Correct.
Oh. If I'd known that, I'd have got you out of here a long time ago. Case is dismissed, sir.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye. In Haverhill. Why if you give me two? They're individual though. They're not together. Haverhill on Clark versus Ebony Johnson.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Ryan Haddad, for the plaintiff.
Your name?
Ebony Johnson.
It's okay. All right, I have before me a consent judgment. Indicates that defendant, including costs, it would be $8,421. That defendant would have until August 10th, 2026 to pay that. That's the court's full understanding of that. Right. What is today? July 10th. Oh, that is 20th. I'm sorry. I thought it was dating my thing. All right. And ma'am, you're unrepresented by counsel. Is there any questions you have regarding this consent judgment?
No, she explained it to him.
Okay, but do you have any questions outside of what counsel explained to you? She's representing the other side. So do you have any questions of your own regarding that?
No, I don't.
All right. So this says that amount you're going to be able to pay by August 10th.
Yes.
Or vacate the premises. You understand that's what it says?
Yes.
All right. Again, since you're unrepresented by counsel, and counsel also probably explained this to you, you have 3 business days to think about this after my signing of this judgment. If you believe that there's some legal reason, some confusion on your part, or some misunderstanding, you'd have those 3 business days to file a motion. You understand that?
Yes.
All right.
Just for the record, Your Honor, she has multiple resources that she's expecting. She's She was approved for SCR and
Okay.
about $410. Hawk will assist her as long as she gets the balance below 3,000. There's a work program that she qualifies for, and then she got some personal resources that she's going to dive into that's going to pay the balance. And so that's going to raise 30 days. And my client is willing to work with her beyond that, outside of the scope of this court hearing.
All right, and I think it's, all right, and I will sign that. I will just say this, that part of my concern these days, because I get a list of all of the applications, your name's not on the list regarding Hawk. And that's mainly because of where funding hits.
Yeah, I had an intake with them. But until I get it down to 3,000, they can't approve me.
Correct, they can't approve you. And then because of the money that Hawk receives, it's like I'm looking at this date of August 10th. That may work out. But if it doesn't, you could get that down to 3,000. You're not on that list of the monies that they have, so that 3,000 then doesn't happen until September funding. Because people are just approved and they're rolling down until they get money. So understand that.
No read without a hearing.
Pardon?
No, it's in the further orders.
Okay.
Without a hearing. We don't.
Got that? Okay, so I'll just put no writ without a hearing. And that way, if it comes down to it, we'll at least have to talk again. Fair enough?
Yes, fair.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Give me the copy of that just for her,
If we don't have clerks now, we can give her a copy then. All right. And I know you want,
yes.
I will, yes, I got Blue Heron Point versus Omar, just come on. How do I pronounce that? Kemisoko.
Ronnie, that for the plaintiff?
Here. No. All right. You want to take a default?
Well, actually, Your Honor, this case is a little confusing, but my notes indicate that at the last hearing that this court granted us a judgment.
Yes.
Not have an amount on there, but then require the defendant to pay into escrow $2,000 on the state day and then another $1,000. I don't believe that was paid, but we were also ordered to bring an order of eviction because I believe that, Your Honor.
Yes.
Something along the lines of an application will be signed this today.
Yes, that is correct. This one I did a little bit weird. So on June 26th, I've already ordered the escrow release to you. I actually already do have a ring. But I can sign another one. But I don't have your signature. I'm going to hand you back this one. I'm going to sign the one in the court file that's got a signature on it. I'll do that. We'll prep that and the writ will issue. All right. And they should be getting the escrow plaintiff. All right. That'll do that. And then are we coming?
Yeah, you need one. You still need it or you don't need it?
What is that?
The landlord wanted the tenant evicted immediately, but the judge wasn't ready to make that decision. What looked like a straightforward eviction case quickly turned into one of the most emotional hearings of the day. A landlord told the court that the tenant's apartment had become a serious health hazard. According to the property manager, there were holes in the walls, garbage throughout the unit, and a severe roach infestation that was allegedly affecting neighboring apartments. The attorney even called it the worst apartment the property manager had ever seen and argued that the tenant needed to be removed immediately. But when the judge began asking questions, the story became much more complicated. The tenant, a mother caring for 5 children, admitted the apartment had been in bad condition. However, she insisted she had been working every day to clean it. She told the judge the trash had been removed, the walls were being repaired, and the apartment looked far different than it had at the previous hearing. Then she revealed something that caught the judge's attention. She claimed the city inspector had never actually entered the apartment because of concerns about the bugs. The judge paused. Instead of immediately siding with either party, he asked the question that changed the entire hearing. Has the inspector actually inspected the unit? The answer? Not